become super spreaders of the coronavirus. Melissa Go joins us with this report.
Malaysians love their Ramadan bazaars. Despite the stringent checks and long queues, visitors don't seem to mind. It's traditional for Muslims to visit Ramadan bazaars to pick up some local delicacies to break fast with families and friends. The sights and smells are worth waiting for, they said. It's been over a year since the city's under partial lockdown due to the pandemic, and many felt deprived because Ramadan bazaars were closed last year.
Oh, Alhamdulillah, tahun ni rasa macam seronok dah sikit sebab dapat pergi bazar. Tahun lepas macam duduk berkurung dalam rumah aja.
City Marina sells spring rolls and potato pancakes, a healthier option to Ramadan favorites like barbecued lamb leg and grilled chicken with creamy coconut gravy called ayam percik. But with daily cases in Malaysia still in 4 digits, she's worried about COVID-19 infections.
Rasa bimbang juga, tapi ialah dengan ekonomi sekarang yang ramai orang terjejas, jadi terpaksa ambil peluang yang kehilangan kerja macam saya.
Indeed, times are tough and she's not alone.
Kalau kita takut-takut pun macam mana sampai bila kita tak menjaga. Mesti hari-hari pun nak makan.
Mahbub Jonid, who makes traditional rice cakes and meat flours called serunding, have branched out to bottling traditional sauces for exports this year. Now, there are hundreds of Ramadan bazaars like this dotted across the country. Now, in Kuala Lumpur alone, there are more than 60. Now, with more and more Malaysians becoming small traders to make ends meet, the government has extended the operating hours for Ramadan bazaars till 2 o'clock in the morning. All the buzz over Ramadan bazaars has also gripped KL International Airport. With the international borders closed and interstate travel still banned, the airport operators has turned to food and retail to stay afloat. It's offering more than 120 authentic Malay dishes during Ramadan to satisfy the cravings and lift the spirit of its huge airport community.
So what we're trying to achieve is just to sustain the sale as a normal month, because we know the impact that Ramadans bring to any F&B outlets during the period.
So now it's a question of not making money, but it's a question of survival, you're saying, yeah?
Yes.
It's the first Ramadan Bazaar at KLIA, and the 60,000-strong airport community, including the immigration, the police and the airline staff, are thankful. Now, face masks must be worn at all times, and all visitors must register with the contact tracing app called MySejahtera and have their temperature screened before entering. Now, to control crowd and also for safe distancing purposes, the number of visitors each time is limited to 20. To minimize contact, visitors are encouraged to switch to e-wallet instead of cash payment. With the sumptuous spread of Ramadan goodies, travelers are spoilt for choice.
Very nice. Very good food here.
With Raya or Eid Festival just around the corner, visitors are welcome to check out the sale at KLIA. Indeed, Malaysia Airport is in survival mode. This Ramadan is rolling out special promotions, offering discount as steep as 60 to 70% to boost the sale. While authorities warn of immediate closure if a cluster is reported, Malaysians just can't have enough of their Ramadan bazaars come rain or shine. Melissa Go, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.
And Asia now continues in the very next hour. We'll be checking other top stories, including India to hit 20 million coronavirus cases by the end of today. But the faint silver lining in that, experts also say the pandemic is likely to peak in the next couple of days. And later, the rest of Asia also facing their own COVID-19 woes, with new waves proving more tenacious and contagious. All the details in just a moment in the very next hour. Stay with us.
Skies. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways. by Qatar Airways. From the top stories in Asia
A quicker, portable way of testing for COVID-19 in just 5 minutes.
to breaking news in the US and Europe,
US President-elect Joe Biden is set to formally introduce his top economic team.
with an eye on markets opening across the world.
Wall Street's major indices all closed the month with double-digit percentage gains.
It's the one bulletin that offers you a global perspective. World Tonight, daily on CMA.
When disaster strikes in Asia, Singapore General Hospital is ready at a moment's notice.
Are you in or not? You need to answer me now.
It was one of the worst earthquakes in Nepal in nearly 100 years.
Our team have never faced a disaster of such a magnitude before.
The case like this is urgent.
The real fear came when we could actually feel aftershocks.
Into the unknown, Doctors on Call, Sunday on CNA.
In Thai, people greet each other asking, "Gin khao ri yang?" Have you eaten already? While once enjoying a meal, another might wonder if the prices will remain the same. But at least for a little while, one can take pause and savor what the city has to offer. Saksetsaya Sambat, CNA, Bangkok.
This is Asia Now.
It's 12 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 9:30 New Delhi and 11 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Lokwisu at the Zara. For India to notch up 20 million cases of COVID-19, although some states, including Delhi and Maharashtra, show early signs of plateau. Allegations of looting and violence in the Indian state of West Bengal, more than 10 people reportedly killed in clashes following legislative elections. Hong Kong to review a policy requiring foreign domestic workers to be vaccinated amidst a diplomatic backlash and new concerns about variants of COVID-19. India, facing a catastrophic second wave of COVID-19, is crossing 20 million cases. Latest official figures are due at any moment now and are expected to be no less than 300,000 daily infections again. Here's a look at how fast India went from 0 to nearly 20 million cases. The country crossed its first million cases last July. 2 months later, it passed 5 million. After that, new cases started falling, and the health ministry declared that as the peak. They even projected the nation would escape with just the one peak. But look at what has happened since the second wave hit in February. Infections went from 12 to 19 million in the last month alone. Today, India is well past 100,000 cases a day. In fact, for more than 12 days in a row, it recorded more than 3 times that figure. Cases even crossed 400,000 on Saturday. Modeling shows cases could peak by tomorrow. At least 11 states and regions have ordered curbs on movement to bring down cases. There have been repeated calls for a national lockdown, but the Prime Minister is still reluctant to announce one. More also needs to be done about New Delhi's massive problem of overcrowded hospitals and medical oxygen shortage. The Supreme Court had issued a midnight deadline to the federal government to ensure that there was enough oxygen supply to the capital. It is unclear if the Modi government has complied with that order. And here Punya tells us what the federal government can realistically do at this point to turn things around.
We're still seeing a desperate scramble for beds and oxygen. If you log on to Indian Twitter or Facebook, you will see that every 2 minutes there's a post by someone who's looking for an oxygen concentrator, an oxygen cylinder, or an ICU bed for their loved ones. And most of the times these searches end with no luck at all. And most people are now being forced to treat their family members at home. And experts are warning that people are dying because of this delayed medical care. Now, in the last 1 week, we've also seen international aid pour in from at least 40 countries.